How to achieve this output in C++? Therefore, here as you can see in the console, there are two threads which are taking turns to print its output into the console. There is a thread with thread ID 1 and there is a thread with thread ID 0. In the main function, there is an array of threads and we are spawning each of the thread objects and calling the print function, passing in the thread ID as a parameter. So in the print function, what we are doing is there is a loop which is running from 0 to 20, and there is a unique log which which attaches logs on this particular mutex, and there is a condition variable, a static condition variable that I am using to selectively allow a particular thread to continue its execution. That is the main purpose of condition variable. So in the condition variable, we can provide a particular condition, also called as predicate. So once this predicate is true, then only that particular waiting thread will be allowed to execute the remaining pieces of code. So in this particular case, let's see how this particular printing happens, how alternating thing happens. So let's see, there are two threads, thread with thread ID 0 and 1. So there are threads with 0 and 1, thread ID with 0 and 1 executing concurrently this particular print API. So it comes here. Both these threads comes here, and thread zero achieves the or logs this particular mutex, and then it comes into this condition variable and it checks the predicate. By default, this previous thread ID is 0 since it is declared globally, and this incoming thread ID is 0. So the condition will not be true, and it will return false. Therefore, thread with thread ID 0 will wait here, and it will wait until the condition is satisfied. Therefore, since the thread with thread ID 0 is waiting, it will release the lock, and by the time the lock is released, the thread with thread ID 1 comes here and it checks the predicate again. Therefore, for the thread with thread ID 1, the incoming thread ID is 1 and the previous thread ID is 0. Therefore, this predicate will return true, and the thread with thread ID 1 can continue its execution and set the previous thread ID, and it can continue printing this particular statement and unlock the mutex and notify the waiting thread. So in our case, so as you can see in this particular output, the first print statement is coming from thread with thread ID 1. So then the thread with thread ID 0 will get a chance to execute, since for thread ID thread 0, now only this condition became true and it will continue its execution and print the statement. That's how the first print statement is for thread with thread ID 1 and second print statement is for thread ID 0. That's how this alternate behavior happens because of this condition variable and this condition predicate that we are using it here. So I hope this was pretty helpful. If you find this particular video helpful, please do subscribe to this particular channel and share this video with your friends. Thank you.